I'm still mute or I'm on? Good. Wow, I can see Baga. Swamji is there. Welcome. Margarita, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Wonderful to be here.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
Sally, good morning.
Good morning, Arun. How are you today?
Kalpa, good morning. Hi, Salim.
Hi. Good morning to you, all of you.
Good
Salim.
morning, Arun bhai.
Good
I think we are
morning.
gradually building up. We are 31 already on our
Oh, wow.
screens. Fantastic, fantastic.
Good morning from here, Mombasa.
Rupi, I can see you as well. Thank you, Joyce. Veronica. Our screen is a little far, but I'm trying hard to see. Justice. How is Beru? Lot of rain.
From Ethiopia.
Ajay, nice to see you.
Oh my goodness. Wonderful.
I can see Dr. Joe Kamau. Later on, maybe, no, we won't get a chance, but we would love to catch up with what's happening on COVID program. Hi, Julia. I see your name, but not face. Carol, Jambo, Angelina, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
You
Arun.
sitting over there, I think you can all watch me and see me. I want to make a confession.
Confess.
Last 100 days, I've never been so smartly dressed. I thought I would impress you all.
Yeah.
Did you, Pipi Arun? We have. Oh, I'm muted. Okay.
You're not muted, Sally. You can speak.
You can hear me. I wanted us to acknowledge District Governor nominee designate Azeb. She's in the room. We need to celebrate her.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for welcoming me. Thank you.
today, we have a special request for you. The club to run would need some funds, and the board has requested that if we can all contribute something. Salim, past President Salim, has already contributed 5,000 shillings. Salim has contributed 5,000 shillings. No, my telephone says 5,000.
I'm sending it.
I'm going to try and match that one. So there's 5,000 from me. And what I suggest is, Irene is on the screen as well. Maybe using the chat box, if you could kindly send to Irene whatever you wish to contribute. Hi, Anna. Almost DG. So please feel free. Whatever you can contribute, whatever your heart and mind allows you and your pocket allows you. And of course, we are very happy to receive your M-Pesa. So right now the collection is 10,000, and I'm sure our president, still continued president, she will contribute something as well. Oh, Jessica, 5,000. So that makes it 15,000. I don't have a calculator notes, but that is great. And I'm sure before the end of the meeting, you'll still hear me requesting you to pledge something. And let's see if we can collect a couple of 100,000, Bob. Ritesh is saying he will also contribute. I haven't asked him how much, but he's always very generous. Thank you, Ritesh. You. I know for a very short period, I was a spouse of my wife when she was a chairperson of an organization. And I know what I went through for a year. It wasn't peace and quiet every day. Anything that went wrong or wasn't in the way she had planned. But of course, you're dealing with human beings. They all have their views, thoughts, etc. And there would be all sorts of frustrations, anxiety, and you're not being able to do anything because you're dealing with people who are volunteers, who are paying to be members, and all you're doing and trying hard is to request them to complete a job or do a project as he or she wishes. So David, you must have been the sounding board for Jessica. And I would love to hear from you. Not now, we'll keep it a special meeting for you. All the things that you had to put up with, you had to become a psychologist, psychiatrist, mentor, peacemaker, I don't know, add a few more adjectives. And imagine this evening, you're going to have a great sleep. Chances are Jessica is going to be in bed by 9 o'clock, and you can put your feet up and watch BBC or CNN or KTN and relax. Jessica is in agreement. But Jessica, after you say your words, You'll get something to hear from me as well as the old Rotarian. Okay, lovely. Hey, Vincent, nice to see you there as well. Karaoke Natyare. Where is Elizabeth Kipkung? I can't see her. It's a very funny way of addressing you when it's a one-sided. I can hear myself talk, but when you don't get a response, it's a slightly different feeling altogether. But I suppose that's the new world that some of us will have to. Yes. All right. Okay. I think we are touching midday, and do we have past President Sudesh Walia? Because she is going to start off by making her welcome remarks. Or do you want me to wait another 5 minutes, 7 minutes? We wait 5, 7 minutes. The total number. We have touched 53.
Hello.
63.
હું ફોન કર્યો દબાઈ ગયો છે સોરી હા નહીં ખબર ખબર અમને ટાઈટ છે ખબર હું તાલી કાઢી દઈશ તાલી કાઢી તો મને ટાયર લેવાના છે ત્યાર બાદ
Sudesh Walia, can you give me a signal whether you are ready to make your welcome remarks? Who has worked hard for 365 days, but that's not quite true. Normally, when she is an incoming president, he or her thoughts starts going into how she's going to plan out the Rotary, what are the different projects she's going to carry on with, what are the new projects she wants to induct. Plus, the most important thing, it's a difficult year trying to identify individuals who would deliver the result. So really, it's almost double 365 days that Rotary president has been under intense pressure. So installation day is when he or she basks in glory of all the projects she has completed, some of the dreams she has faced, challenges she has faced, appointments, disappointments, anxieties, etc., that she has gone through it, and she is happy to pass on the chain. And it reminds me of Ray Charles's song of "Take these chain of my heart and set me free." But in Rotary, that's not how it works. After Jessica has made an address, I'm going to say a few words about how her Rotary starts now. And on the other side, you have an incoming president who has willingly, genuinely accepted. He being in Rotary for few clubs, he has already tasted what Rotary is, understood what Rotary is, what service is, what dealing with people is, and he has accepted to take the challenge and lead us, but when I say lead us, lead the Club of Nairobi, which will be 90-year-old sometimes in September this year, and take it to even higher heights. So in my diary, it's one of the very, very important days for the club. Ladies and gentlemen, I greatly appreciate each of you being there, each of you opening your screen, and I'm sure you're able to see me much clearly. I can only see you as little dots, but thank you for coming over here and supporting the outgoing president and supporting the incoming president. Thank you. Sudesh, I'm glad to see you. I can see you. So Sudesh, unmute yourself and please give us the welcome remark.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
Good.
Okay, all right. Good afternoon, everybody. All the Rotarians and maybe some guests also. It is a very special occasion. Rotary Club of Nairobi is getting its 90th president, the tallest and the youngest. The tallest may never come again, taller than our Ritesh. So we welcome all of you. We welcome our new president, and we thank our outgoing president, Jessica. I can see there are quite a few Rotarians here. Joyce is there, Montazir, John Conchella, Rebecca, Mike, Winnie, Dorcas, Kalpa, Renu, Betty, Salome, Nisha, Omi, Rupesh. Rupesh, welcome. You are from Mumbai. Harini, Rashmi, Margareta, Veronica, Maggie, Eva, Elizabeth, Akash, Otumbo, Kayuki, Salim, Joe, Kirima, AG Alkai, Gitonga, Julia. Wow, we have a good turnout, very good. Atia, Justus, Carol, Angeline, Samantha, IPPADRR, Gitonga, Yusuf's iPhone is also there. Pina, Ruth, David Gitanga, Esther, amazing, Harriet, Joy, Roger, Dipti, Betty, Inet, Ambrose, David Hesty, Dan Avendo, Gita, Keisha, Isabella, Grace, Irene, wow, Patrick, our DG Patrick, Anna, Ruth, Martin, Teresa, Otumbo. It is really a historical moment. Almost the whole district has come here. Thank you so much and welcome all of you to our very special ceremony of inducting, I'm getting our 90th president, Ritesh Barot. Welcome. Hello.
Thank you very much, Sudesh. Sorry, past President Sudesh. Now I'm looking for Anne. Anne Van Valway.
I did not see her name unless I have missed it.
Sudesh, you can unmute yourself. Thank you.
Sure.
And I want to see you in Nigerian dress, Nigerian hairstyle. Where are you? Unmute yourself and please continue the welcome remarks. While we are waiting for her, I think let's be a little proud of ourselves. We are going to be 90-year-old. I mean, honestly, I don't see myself being 90-year-old ever, with all the vices and the weaknesses and the things that I've done and I'm doing and I'm likely to do. But 90 years is a fantastic milestone. And the best part of everything is possibly we are the seed of all the clubs in East and Central Africa. Definitely the other day I was with a Ugandan and he said, Devani, you will never believe, but Rotary Club of Nairobi perhaps was the seed where we grew. And I think they are right. So we have a lot of things to be proud of. The other day when our president had her last board of directors meeting, I logged in and I had the pleasure of listening to the different projects and activities that our club does. Honestly, if I'm honest to myself, I compliment you, each of you, tremendously. When I started listing out the number of projects you've done, I stopped halfway because there were so many. It's not only the COVID projects that we did, but whether it's coal, whether it's water, Mama, where is Atya, Mama Jiko projects. We are in dams, water, etc., education. School was the Canadian project. We're distributing various things to the students and so on. It's unbelievable. And then also when I heard what the international committee has done and is doing and the liaison they have with number of international companies, the way they're able to obtain the matching grants and so on, each of you can be proud of yourself for being a member of Rotary Club of Nairobi. And each of you can also pat yourself because each of you have been supporting not only the president, but each of the committee members. So keep this in mind when you attend your meetings, whether it's on Zoom or hopefully, I'm very hopeful that by August, September, we may again be able to meet physically, that you are a member of Rotary Club of Nairobi. I think it's only when you are a member of the inner working committee, you realize the extent to which we are active. At the same time, when it came to fundraising, I think you were equally supportive. Everywhere you have contributed, you have not let the club down. And then I mustn't forget our forefathers in Rotary. They, with their foresight, also set up a Rotary Club of Nairobi Trust, which past President Dinesh is heading as the chairman at the moment. Mama Abdullah is the treasurer over there. Sally is there, a few others. With their vision, forefathers set that one up, and that is all. The trust is always there to support us. Yes, they have their own philosophy, policies, as guided by the trust did, but they are always there when we have any significant project. We, in addition, and I mustn't forget him, we have Sudesh Walia with her eye eradication, Mukesh with his fantastic project last few years in Kisumu on the cataracts. I've been doing anything up to approaching 1,000 cataract operation. It's simply mind-boggling and pleasing that our club can do all these things. And we have Rotarians who travel from our club, and they never forget Rotary Club. Wherever they go, they somehow manage to get us grants, bookings, commitment from the other Rotary Club. Thank you. I just received an apology from Anne. She must be having a very good reason for not being here. So now I'm going to call our Rotary meeting to order. I don't have a bell, but I'm going to just knock. The Rotary Club formally starts now. I'm going to request the administrator over here to put the national anthem wherever you are. It would be courteous and asked of us to put our right hand on our heart and just sit wherever you are. So national anthem, Kenya's national anthem. Please be upstanding if you are sitting.
And today I'm with my brother Mazo here. So we have been requested to do a rendition of the national anthem. So enjoy as we do this. Justice be our shield and defender. May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders. Let one and all arise with hearts both strong and true. Service be our earnest endeavor. Our homeland of Kenya, heritage of splendor, firm may we stand to defend. Let all with one accord, in common bond united, build this our nation together. And the glory of Kenya, the fruits of our labor, fill every heart with thanksgiving.
Much. Thank you. That was just wonderful. Thank you.
I find you on the compelling. So
can I see Elizabeth Kim Kung, please, on the screen? Since I can't find Elizabeth on the screen, I'm going to request our Honorable Odhiambo, Madam Odhiambo, to say the grace. I know we are not having lunch, but let's consider we are all feasting right now in anticipation of a new president. Julia Odhiambo.
Josephine.
Fellow Rotarians and guests, let's say the grace. O Lord and giver of all good, we thank you for our daily food. May Rotary ways and Rotary days help us to follow you every day. Amen.
Thank you. And I've seen Sally. Sally, I've seen you. So please unmute yourself and please recite the four-way test. Thank you, Sally.
Thank you. The four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you very much, Sally. It's my honor to request toast to his president of Kenya. Now, what I suggest is wherever you're sitting, and that's the beauty, I can't see whether you're dressed or undressed, but please, wherever you are, put your right hand on your heart and we will raise the toast to the president. To the president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, maybe he has a long life and leave behind a great legacy for all of us. To the president of Kenya.
The president.
Before I request our current president to say her outgoing address, once again, we are raising funds for running of the club. At the last count, I think I managed to count between 15 and 20,000 shillings. We are requesting each of you to make a commitment. You can make a commitment on the chat over there. Irina is over there making note of everyone who commits, and we'll greatly appreciate. We're all a little bit handicapped because we are not meeting for lunch. So in one way, we are saving money, but on the other hand, we have the cost of Zoom and organizing meetings, etc. So this will help, your contribution will help. And then of course, the treasurer Paru, I saw him somewhere, he'll be sending you your fee note for the year. Try and see if you can settle it before 15th of July. It will make life for the treasurer and the president, incoming president, much easier. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure now to request our current president, Jessica Kazina, to address us. Thank you, Jessica.
We were expecting Irina. Irina, are you there?
Yes. Good afternoon, Rotarians. So I'll do
when I was introduced, we were rushing through the program, and
Yeah.
nobody knows who I am or what I do. So Irina was going to introduce me to give you my bio. Irina?
Yes, okay. Good afternoon, Rotarians. Thank you very much for turning up in great numbers to the installation of our president. I'll just quickly go through the biography of our current president, Jessica Kazina. She's sorry, there's someone with the who is not muted. Please mute yourself. President Jessica is married to PP David Hasty, and they have 3 grown children and 4 more whom they met through.
No, I don't know, but I think because Ritesh is the one who added me, maybe from his side, because he's the admin or something, he can do that. Yeah, him or Sanjeev.
Sorry, can we have karaoke mute yourself. So President Jessica is married to PP David Hasty, and between them they have 3 grown children and 4 more whom they met through Rotary and are part of the extended family. Rotary experience, President Jessica has been a youth service director, a director of family of Rotary, and a director of programs, and a director of Rotary Foundation. She's been a project lead on many projects, notably the Amani Lazima peace project after the post-election violence in 2007, water and sanitation, GG Meru Water Project with Larry Donahoe, and the annual Christmas parties in Huruma and Mathare. She's actively participated in ICAM's COW, the Christmas parties and fundraising for freedom for girls and other RCN projects. In 2020, Jessica initiated Mlango Kubwa project, a feeding program necessitated by COVID-19 pandemic for those who fell through the cracks, the homeless. Work experience, President Jessica worked for the United Nations for 21 years between June 1994 and October 2015, when she took early retirement. Between 1994 and 1999, she worked for the United Nations Secretariat, first on Integrated Management Information Systems, IMIS, and later on secondment as Deputy Chief Human Resources Management System, heading the Training and Staff Development Unit. Between 1999 and 2015, she worked in Nairobi at Gigiri. She initially came to work in Nairobi for 2 years, but she decided to stay and joined UNEP thereafter. She served United Nations Environment Program as a Chief Admin and Finance for the Division of Environment Policy Implementation, and later as a Program Officer for the Multilateral Fund for the Implementation of the Montreal Protocol, a trust fund established to phase out ozone depleting substances, ODS, in mostly developing countries. She served as their treasurer for a term of 2 years, reporting to the Executive Committee of Member States. Prior to joining the UN, for 12 years, Jessica worked with the United Parcel Services and the Guardian Life Insurance in New York in various professional capacities. She's a fellow Life Management Institute of Life Office Management Association of USA. Upon retirement from the UN, Jessica was elected to be president of the Association of Former International Civil Servants Kenya from 2016 to 2017, an organization that represents all UN retirees in Kenya. She represented AFIC's members on matters to them like pension, insurance. She started her own small company where she's the executive director to stay busy and pursue her interest in real estate. Jessica holds an MBA in finance from Fordham University, New York, and BSc in business administration accounting from Cheney University in Pennsylvania. She holds a higher education certificate in leadership and organizational development from New York University and various certificates from UN-related training. Jessica enjoys cooking, music, walking, reading, and everything about health. Thank you, and join me in welcoming President Jessica.
Okay. My mouth is not in sync with the words. Is it? Yes. That's why I look. Okay. 3 seconds delay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, PP Arun. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians, family, and friends. It's a pleasure to be addressing you here remotely because the time has come for me and for the club to take stock of where we reached since July 1, 2019. I have to hand over the chain of office, hand over the power without much drama, no bloodshed, no coup d'etat. But seriously, I never thought it would come to an end. And I am delighted to hand over to this gentleman, this great chain of office of president of the Rainbow Club that has been my family for 21 years and 8 months. Because this chain is going to a great human being that we have all come to know, to respect, and I might even add to love. A gentleman in every sense of the word, a big brother when you need him. We had an extraordinary first 4 months of my tenure, but we regrouped soon after that with the support of many people that I will talk about in a few minutes. The realization that Rotary is more than just any one of us and will always be there. It's like a sharp slap in your face to wake you up. Do your job. Don't let anything derail you. Stay focused and don't forget why you are a Rotarian. After all, being a Rotarian underscores a commitment one must have, a commitment to the core values of Rotary, which are service, fellowship, diversity, integrity, and leadership. I knew there's no way any human being can get it all right. But as my high school motto, persevere, never give up. At any rate, one must try, and try to keep to committing to these values because we can't always get it right. With this in mind, my journey began. If I were to rate the core values of Rotary that I apply to my work the most, I would say that integrity and service would be at the top. Knowing that nobody can please everyone, and at the expense of upsetting some, I forged on. And to those that I upset, forgive me, we're family. And family have these squabbles and get over it. Let's all work together for the good of the Rotary and the good of the following year. In spite of the challenges we faced, we had a good year. No, a great year. If you go by the feedback I have personally received on our forums, on social media, the Rainbow Club is still the creme de la crop, the premier club, the Rotary Club of Nairobi. I believed your great comments and encouragement. I listened to your rebukes. I took your support and accepted your prayers. Thank you for propping me up when I could have fallen. Thank you. Irina, can you please play the presentation? We have the PowerPoint, which I hope is going to give Irina access to share something.
Sorry, can the host of the meeting enable me to share the screen? I'm not able currently.
I can keep talking while you're doing that, or is that? Yeah, sure, why not? PP, give me a note when I'm about. Should have been good. Thank you.
Irina, please connect PowerPoint presentation for the president. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm not able to share my screen. The host has to make me host for this particular time, then I'll return back the hosting rights to him.
Can they hear me? I could continue for a bit. Can you hear me? Somebody put up your hand if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I can continue speaking while we wait for the PowerPoint. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
While we wait for the technical issues to be resolved, I can continue talking. It was easy to carry out our signature projects because we have some people who are stalwarts and are dedicated to these projects. Every single year in, year out, I see we have got the PowerPoint, but let me continue anyway. The Rural Blindness Eradication Project, the Rotary Club of Nairobi, under constant stewardship of Dr. Mukesh, has run the Kenya blindness eradication since its inception in 1985. Cataract operations are performed on poor people who cannot afford these operations. Screening is done in various parts of Kenya, like Nyanza province, Rift Valley, Western. Patients come from as far away as Siaya, Ahero, Kapset, Kericho, Kisii, Eldoret. The complex organization of the logistics and accounting done by IPP Salim and Rotarian Nelson Mboro, those are the stalwarts of this program. They can do this with their eyes closed, but it is hard work and we appreciate them very much. The project has taken place every single year. And in 2019 to 2020, we went to Kisumu and IPP Salim and PP Ann went to Garissa. Together, we managed to achieve a respectable 350 operations. I think I did 258. Just before the coronavirus pandemic called, so we were not able to do any more eye camps this Rotary year. The highest record of eye operations achieved was 1,600 cataracts performed during the year of 2013-14 when Rotarian past President David Hastie was president. I point that out because I negotiated with him, having done 1,600 and we done only 350. Mind you, I know this gentleman very well. I asked him to add his numbers to mine and we have an average of 629. Needless to say, he refused. This was the world's highest record ever achieved by a single Rotary club. To date, we've done 17,000 cataract operations, and that includes this current year. We're playing slides on the screen. They may not coincide with what I am saying, but you will recognize some of the things that I am saying because we've had some technical problems. We'll just keep going and you will relate it to what you see. The next project we did this year was Sleeping Children Around the World. Since 2004, in collaboration with the Canadian charity SCAL, that's the acronym, we have distributed 126,000 kits to children under 12 years in various poor schools across the central region. This year, we ventured to Masai Mara. The project recognizes the importance of sleep in the mental, physical development of children. Someone may say this is a frivolous project, but it is a very important project because the effects it has on children goes on far beyond their young years. The bed kits normally contain mattress, blanket, mosquito net, sleeping pajamas, sleepers, school bags, pencil case, pencils, stationery, and sometimes book bags. We tend to not very much what we put in because that's what's agreed with our Canadians. We have an energy saving GCOS. This is a project which is run by Atia Yaha. It started 13 years ago, and we have provided many GCOS, 50 GCOS to 28 schools, mainly primary schools that are government run and have feeding programs. These are 3 liters GCOS that can cook meals for 3,000 children in the shortest time period with the least use of fossil fuel expended. The project is on a cost sharing basis. We pay 50 and they pay 50%. Rotary Club of Nairobi carries out Christmas party in Mathare. It used to be Mathare and Huruma. I've been on that for many times. And this year we managed to do it at Christmas, about Christmas time. And the 2 ladies who ran it, Dr. Beatrice and Winnie, was a very successful one. You bring smiles to children in Mathare. Children were entertained, provided with a meal, given gifts of stationery, books, and other items. This project also gives kids something to think about and to remember as they grow up. For Family of Rotary, we have Koroga, joint Koroga. Youth service. I'm supposed to be talking about youth service, and youth service put together a joint Koroga with Rotaractor, USIU, and RCNC. That's our Rotaractors that we work with. We hosted the Interact Storytelling competition at the Lenana School with 5 Interact clubs. We marked World Interact Week. We hosted winners of Interact Storytelling at the club, together with the 2 presidents of the Rotaractor. It's very important that we give special attention to the young people who are going to be future Rotarians. And as we do this, the youth director, Gideon Akwabi, is also going to be the president nominee, or is a president nominee. We appreciate what you have done for that group of people, together with all the people who support you in the club. Family of Rotary, we had some interesting year. It was a sad start to the year with the loss of Dr. Marie Nelson. Many members attended her remembrance at the church she used to attend, and we organized for flowers and contributions to her charity of choice. We lost Rotarian Kanu Divani a few months after we had been to visit him at home before he was taken away from us. He was a kind, gentle soul who supported us. He gave us a lot, supported us in the most expensive items of advertising, putting banners across the city, helping us with our house banners for all of Rotary, not just our club. But we miss him very much. PP Eric Crystal quietly passed away on, and Nani Cross, his wife, requested for seedlings to be planted in his memory. What this three had in common was a gentle, peaceful demeanor. Rest in peace to the three great souls. Be in peace. To celebrate life, as we must continue to do in these times, the Rotary Club of Nairobi had a luncheon at Asmara Restaurant, one organized by Susan Murabana Owen. She outdid herself. We were treated three what? Okay. Membership, we are proud to have had a very good record of attendance throughout the year, except for the first one, where a funeral prominent person coincided with mine. I was afraid that it would set the trend, but it did not happen. We have increased the number in net terms. We have 9 new Rotarians, Rotarian Beatrice, Rotarian Eva Nyawiri, Rotarian Justice Awatch, Rotarian John Conchella, Rotarian Rashmi Chug, Rotarian Biswas, Rotarian Erin, Rotarian Nicodemus, and Marilyn will be joining us soon. For the program, we had a robust program for the year. Our own members have a great stories to tell, and we shared those. For guest speakers, we carefully chose from areas which can partner with us to benefit our projects like Davis and Shirtleaf, like Salvation Army, Commander, Irish Pioneer, Canadian Bonnie Sutherland, World Wildlife Program, Dr. Watto, AK's Head of Cancer Research, and 2 giants in Rotary, the DG Patrick Obath and DG Joe Otin, who spoke to us during the COVID times. We have 5 Paul Harris Fellows. We managed to have 3 outstanding global grants cleared this year and are back in business for application of global grants. I'll be remiss if I did not mention the work of Rotarians who have been doing work outside the district, with the district and the COVID emergency response efforts. The distribution of flowers done by none other than Ambassador Josephine, a project that was started by one PDG. The distribution of flowers was done before the counties. Other countries started openly appreciating frontline workers. Thank you to that program. Water tanks, distribution of hampers, sanitizers, partly funded by Rotary Club of Nairobi, courtesy of Charitable Trust. We were able to do that with the Rotarian Anuja, and our contribution is recognized and appreciated by the district. I cannot thank enough members and those who still write notes to apologize because they cannot make it your event and give you an explanation. Those that respond to circulated announcements requiring approvals, those that still give respect to the office of the president. Those ladies and gentlemen in this club make it what it is, the premier club. Thank you very, very much for being who you are. Although things are changing, we now have WhatsApp it, we Zoom it, we read it on. Let's not forget the human touch. The people have feelings, and human touch is very important. Whether you are sending or receiving intended message, our mode of communication has become so digital that even some countries accept legitimate correspondence on email. Who are we to slow down the world? I'd like to thank people who have been very instrumental in my year. Because of the nature of this meeting and that we can't have you here to do because of the distancing, I'd like to mention that what I've bought for gifts, I am going to contribute that money to a project of feeding the poor on a project of Mlango Kuva. I'd like to thank people who were very helpful in contributions, people who are not even Rotarians who raised a lot of funds. Mrs. Ella Divani, with friends of her family, collected over 1.3 million shillings. The trust to the Rotary Club of Nairobi put in another 500,000. Mukesh put in 1 million, 0.6 of a million. So together we were able to contribute 3.6 million shillings to the COVID emergency response. That's not small change. And for all those who did the work, I appreciate it very much. I'd like to thank everybody who advised me behind the scenes or in front. I would like to thank Arun Devani. I would like to thank Mike Eldon. I would like to thank Darcy for having been there when I called on them to guide me. But most importantly, I'd like to thank the members of my team. The advisors have been Saleh Gitoho and Dr. Gifanga. Dr. Saleh Gitoho and Dr. Gifanga, who I always call any time of the day, and they are willing to listen and to help me move forward. I'd like to thank people who were very selfless. Irina Wandera has been my left hand, right hand. I would like to offer her a Paul Harris Fellowship because of she went the extra mile. She went beyond what her role was as secretary of the club. I would like to thank incoming president, Ritesh Barot, who has been a big brother, who has been guiding me in some ways. I mentor him and guide him, and he mentors me and guides me. We talk more than anyone else in the world, and my husband is beginning to worry. But he really appreciates that we're good friends and that we're able to transition peacefully and without any problems whatsoever. I would like to thank Family of Rotary, Susan Murabana, who picked up things when the Family of Rotary director had left the post or was not available. I would like to thank Gideon Kwabi, who has achieved so much with youth service, so much done with the Rotaractors and Interactors and creating new clubs. I would like to thank Atia. Atia's project has moved on. I've been to visit some of them, and ablution blocks for a school of 2,000 kids, and Swedish Water project. And I believe that we're going to continue most of these projects in the coming year because we planned for them. And then I had mentioned the COVID word. We planned them, and the COVID word, COVID came. So with a lot of plans in place, from February until June, while we've been able to do a few projects, we have a lot in plan on paper and negotiations, and we look forward to continuing with Ritesh. Fundraising, I would again like to thank people who have helped us with fundraising. Every member of the club who contributed, however big or small. The most contributor for the ICAMP, again, Arun Devani, I have to thank you personally because you do a lot. You don't like to be mentioned, but you're among friends, so we can mention that. He has helped a lot in raising funds for the ICANP. Membership was picked up by Ritesh Barot when we had an absence in that membership, and we've done very well indeed. We've managed to get a lot of good speakers. And while I look forward to moving on, I look keen to hand over this chain. I'm told to remember by somebody, a friend of mine, that remember, like health, you don't miss it until you lose it. I won't miss it. I will lose it, but I'll be behind. Is that good enough, Ritesh? So thank you all very much. Those whom I have forgotten, forgive me. those who I will see again, I intend to thank you publicly, the people who have been instrumental in supporting me throughout the year. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
President Jessica, you forgot one more important point.
I have to thank my family. How can I forget that? I have to thank my family who have been behind me, who have supported me when I couldn't cook, when I couldn't watch the baby, when I couldn't do a lot of things that I was supposed to do. Thank you very much, my husband David. He's behind, in front, everywhere. My children, I won't mention them all. Hi. And I look forward to coming back home so that we can enjoy the family with a little bit more time. Thank you.
Jessica, you still missed out on one very important point. You know, some of us who became Rotarians when it was totally men's club can see the changes. And I think this year she has inducted 9 members, 8 actually, 1 to be done, and 6 are women. I was quietly asking Ritesh, what would be the percentage of women now, keeping in mind, and I saw Evelyn Mungai, I'm sure she is listening somewhere. I had the pleasure of inducting the first lady member in the club, and my hands were shaking when I was putting the badge. Now we are 40 to 42% women and balance men. Jessica, well done. But Jessica, one of the many things you mentioned twice is not easy. Yes, you are handing over the chain, you are handing over the hot seat, but I'm going to give a little message, which I sat down and I said, how do I pass that message? Jessica, remember, you're only handing over the chain. True Rotary for you starts now. After you have healed wherever you've been pained, after you have forgiven those who may not have cooperated with you or acted with you in unison, true work of Rotary starts now. You have become a new guardian within the club and guiding beacon of the club. You start mentoring, advising, and become a role model. You start preparing for both new members and next step in the Rotary structure. Let's move towards the district level. Right now, people are watching you, have seen you how you operate under unusual circumstances. And really, last 4 months have been unusual circumstances. And do not be surprised if you have fallen under their radar. It's not so easy to just say, I've finished my year. I wish I could see David Hesty's face, smile and sign of relief. I bet he has borne the brunt of a lot of your frustration, disappointments, anxieties, etc. And now David will be enjoying his glass of white wine with no tension. Whilst I would like to rattle on and talk about all good things you led our club to do over the last 12 months, I will let members say it directly, including Julie Odiambo later on. I just want to talk about emotional intelligence. Your notch must be 10 times more than when you started your year. Reflecting back, following 4 things has greatly affected your level of emotional intelligence. Environment, which you, club's environment, the surrounding environment. Exposure, how you're exposed to people, projects, challenges. engagement. Really, you got engaged in different projects directly, indirectly, through Zoom, through telephones, etc. And the experience that you have gained for last 12 months. This is one character of Rotary that is hardly talked about. People consider Rotary to be just service club, a fellowship club. But when you have passed through the stage of presidency in a club, it's amazing how your emotional intelligence has grown. How you start being human, how you start thinking of humanity, how your humanity coefficient also goes up, and whether you like it or not, your philanthropic coefficient also goes up. These are the few experiences that one acquires once he has been through the presidency, and that's what makes you the leader for tomorrow, whether it's Rotary, whether it's your business, whether it's some other organization. And that is the beauty of Rotary. I am what I am, what I was is a lot of. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Kalpa Padya, who in turn will introduce the incoming president. Kalpa, I did see you there. If you can unmute yourself, administrator, you will also help unmute Kalpa, please. All right. Kalpa, we can see you. You have a very important responsibility to introduce one of the finest person I know. Thank you.
Rotarians and the incoming board. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Ritesh. Ritesh, a fourth generation Kenyan, born and raised right here in our beloved Kenya, is well versed and well educated. He pursued his higher education in London and holds an MSc in business finance. Upon returning back home to Nairobi, he joined Barco Hiring and Leasing Company and is now in the position of director. Ritesh, although a man of few words and soft-spoken, when he does speak, is well entrenched as an investor, a financial analyst, and is also a writer for a business column. Considered by many as one of the tallest men in Nairobi, due to which he has received much media attention both locally and internationally. He has used these media platforms to campaign causes in support and aid of the physically challenged. An artist by heart, he has been a hobby painter and has held several exhibitions of his art, which has also featured multiple times in the much acclaimed Kenya Arts Diary. His list of achievements, honors, and accolades is endless, but the greatest accolade he has received in the country he calls home is the Order of the Grand Warrior, a state honor bestowed upon by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, upon Ritesh on 1st of June 2017. Over the time I've known Ritesh, I've had the pleasure of being part of almost every achievement he has made, every milestone covered, and almost every accolade he has received. Never has he stopped being humble, understanding, connected, down to earth, and always there when someone needs him, irrespective of what's happening in his life. Ritesh, a great humanitarian, a proud member of Rotary Club of Nairobi, and above all, my friend. Thank you. Good afternoon, Rotarians.
Is Kulwir Mangat with us? He's the governor, what do you call him, AG? Yeah, outgoing AG, is he with us? All right, in his absence, I have pleasure of requesting Gugi to come and introduce the incoming district governor. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today it's my distinct pleasure to introduce our incoming DG Patrick Obath. Patrick Obath is a member of the Rotary Club of Muthaiga. He joined Rotary in 1993 in Bintulu, Malaysia. Then joined Rotary Club of Mombasa North Coast in 1996, and later joined Rotary Club of Muthaiga in 2000. He served as the president of Rotary Club of Mombasa North Coast for the year 1999-2000. Other areas of his Rotary service include district and country violation, country annual giving share, country membership expansion share, and Wasrag Ambassador District 9212. Patrick graduated with an economics degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Maryland. He has served in leadership roles in Kenya Petroleum Refineries Limited, Shell UK, Shell headquarters in The Hague, Bintulu, Malaysia, Shell East Africa as Managing Director, Kenya Shell and Shell Tanzania. Shell Oil Products Africa before his retirement in 2010. Patrick is currently running a structured consultancy for energy and electronics, with leadership, governance, and sustainability. He chose several boards in the private sector and has served as chairman of PEPFAR, FKE, and is currently serving as chairman of the Standard Chartered Bank, Kenya, and Java House Africa, among other organizations. He is sought after. He is a sought after Association, the Kenya Golf Union, and is currently the tournament director of the Kenya Open Golf Tournament. Patrick is married to Rotarian Terry Obath. He is father to Brenda, Cindy, and Lindsay, and is also grandfather to Rihanna. Please join me in welcoming
Thank you very much. I know that there is a problem in terms of sound because of a little bit of internet issues. And I hope we'll be able to go through this. I know it is intermittent. You can see from where you're sitting that it is that way as well. So I hope we'll be able to go through the ceremony without you missing too much of what is going on. It is now my humble pleasure to install the new president that is coming in. And I'd like to ask the outgoing and the incoming presidents to please join me around the microphone, if I could please. So, installing your incoming board is an integral part of the annual club renewal process. It is a time when club leadership is passed from the current officers to a new set of officers whom I am sure are eager to place their plans into action. It is also a time when the accomplishment of the present officers are recognized and appreciated for their contributions during the year. And that has already been fully done by your outgoing president in his speech. This is also the beginning of a new year of fun and fellowship for everyone. So let us start the ceremony. But before we do so, I just want to be certain that the ceremony will take place. So let me first of all ask Outgoing President Jessica. Are you ready and willing to pass on the chain of office?
I do.
Okay, good. At least that bit was clear. President-elect Ritesh, are you ready and willing to accept the chain of office? I do. Okay, great. Thank you. You think there's a wedding ceremony because I say I do. But thank you. So, Rotary and Ritesh, you have been selected by the members of the Rotary Club of Nairobi to guide its affairs during the coming year. It is an expression of their confidence in your leadership. You have been entrusted with an important responsibility that will help shape this club's future. So I'd like to ask you to take the oath of President and repeat after me. I, Ritesh Barot.
I, Ritesh Barot.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of the President.
The office of the President.
Of the Rotary Club of Nairobi.
Of the Rotary Club of Nairobi.
And that I will.
And that I will.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Give support and assistance.
Give support and assistance.
To the Assistant Governor.
To the Assistant Governor.
The District Governor.
The District Governor.
And to Rotary International.
And to Rotary International.
And that I will uphold.
And that I will uphold.
The Constitution and bylaws.
The Constitution and bylaws.
Of Rotary International.
Of Rotary International.
And of the Rotary Club of Nairobi.
And of the Rotary Club of Nairobi.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Right. Thank you. Now that you've taken the oath of office, it is now my pleasure to actually install the transfer of chair. And I have a. And this is one of the heaviest chains that I have actually had to work with. And I have technical assistance behind me, so I can reach out. There you are. Let's give I would now like to ask First President to sit down, as you will be very soon, and ask Ritesh to now introduce his board, and then we shall proceed to install. So please introduce your board.
It is with great honor and pride I introduce to you the Rotary Club of Nairobi Board of Directors for Rotary Year 2020-2021. But before I do so, I would like to introduce you to the President-elect for Rotary Year 2020-2021. This is the gentleman who will be the club president next year during Rotary Year 2021 and will take over once I have completed my year of service as president. Rotarian Gideon Akwabi has had the privilege to serve his Rotary service as an Interactor, Rotaractor, and Rotarian. He is a charter member of the Interact Club of Dagoretti High School and the Rotaract Club of Moi University. Rotarian Gideon Akwabi was inducted into Rotary in May of 2012 and was appointed to the position of Club Administration Director, a position he served under 2 consecutive club presidents. In the year 2013-2014, Rotarian Gideon Akwabi was appointed Community Services Director, a position he served for a consecutive 4 years. At the same time, Rotarian Gideon was appointed as Country Kenya Interact Chair by the District Governor, Richard Omwela, and subsequently appointed District 9212 Interact Chair by District Governors Peter Mbui, Geoffrey Bamford, and Joe Otin. In December of 2019, Rotarian Gideon was elected the Rotary Club of Nairobi President nominee and will serve as the 91st President of the Rotary Club of Nairobi from 1st of July 2021. Rotarian Gideon will be taking over presidency from me once my year of service as President is complete. I will now introduce to you the Rotary Club of Nairobi Board Directors for the year 2020-2021. Immediate past president, Rotarian Jessica Kazina. President-elect, Rotarian Gideon Akwabi. My vice president is Rotarian Ambassador Dr. Josephine Ojiambo. Executive Secretary and Programs Director, Rotarian Irina Wandera. Honorable Secretary, Rotarian Eva Nyawira Kuria. Honorable Treasurer, Rotarian Parul Bhatt. International Services Director, past President Dr. Sudesh Walia. Community Services Director, Rotarian Anuja Prashar. Family of Rotary Director, past President Dr. Anne Van Laue. Vocational Services Director, Rotarian Nelson Mburu. Fundraising Director, Rotarian Rashmi Chug. Public Relations Director, Rotarian Margareta Wagasheru. Membership Director, Rotarian Kalpa Padia. Membership Interviews Committee Chair, past President Omi Nagpal. Youth Service Director, Rotarian Winnie Gerards. Sergeant at Arms, Rotarian Atia Yahya. Advisor to the Board, past President Arun Devani. Advisor to the Board, past President Salim Fazal. Club Trainer, past President Mike Eldon. Club Trainers, past President Dr. Salome Gitoho and past President Dr. David Gitanga. I wish to thank all the incoming board members, all the past presidents, and esteemed members of Rotary Club of Nairobi. I count on your full support, on your wholehearted and undivided, unreserved support as we work together as a family, as we work together to achieve all the goals we have set for Rotary year 2020-2021, and together we will all achieve success. President Jessica, now is the time when you will guide me further. And I know you will stand with me and alongside me during this year when I will be serving the club as president. I truly count on the support of all members of Rotary Club of Nairobi and am forever grateful.
It is now my honor and duty to install the directors who you've just been informed are going to take over as directors. And I'd like them to unmute their microphones so they can respond at the appropriate time. If you have any strange noises behind you, please make sure that they're muted as well, as your microphone is unmuted. In accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of the Rotary Club of Nairobi, you have all been elected officers to lead the club during the year. This is an indication of your fellow Rotarians' esteem and confidence in all of you. They also believe that you will uphold the high traditions of your club and that you will give the best of your executive ability to the furtherance of the interest of the Rotary Club of Nairobi and the carrying forward of the objects of Rotary. As members of the executive board, you are expected to work closely with the assistant governor, the cluster leader, the country chair, and the district governor and each other on behalf of the club and of Rotary International for the benefit of all. So let me ask all of you who have been read out by the incoming president, present on the call to respond to my question. Will you fulfill the responsibilities of your officers to the best of your ability and in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of this club? Please respond.
I will. I will.
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will. Okay. I've heard them and I've seen
I
their
will.
names coming up. So I hereby declare all the new officers and directors installed. And as part of the handover process, I would now like to hand over the gavel and the bell to the incoming president as a symbol of the transfer of authority to you. Well done. To the, okay. Okay, we're going to pause for a small second. There's something that has got to be reset, and then I shall continue and complete the installation process.
Yes.
Newspaper.
Thank you.
Important and highly encouraged. Thank you all for serving. But not only should I address the officers of the club, I'd like to address the members of the Rotary Club of Nairobi. It is only right and fitting that you as members of the Rotary Club of Nairobi pledge your full support to these new officers in every way to accomplish the purpose of your club as outlined in the Constitution. So let me ask, do you as members of the Rotary Club of Nairobi pledge your full support to your new officers in the fulfillment of their responsibilities? If so, please answer, I do.
I do. I do.
I do.
And I'm hoping to hear some from there, from outside as well. It's okay. So to the officers who have been installed, please accept my wholehearted congratulations to each of you. May your term in office be one of deep satisfaction and provide you with the knowledge of a job well done at the end of the year. So thank you for permitting me to install all of you, and I'll now hand you back to your Master of Ceremonies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Another 10 days and you'll be my district governor. And it would be, I've known Patrick for quite a few years, from CAPSA days, even when he was with Shell and so on. So I think we have a fantastically able, capable district governor coming in, and I'm looking forward to another very exciting, challenging year. I think in the current period of COVID, we have had some of the finest district governors, and I look forward to that one. Fellow members, it's my great pleasure now to invite our President, Ritesh Barot, to address us and to tell us the challenge that we all have in front of us for next 12 months. President Ritesh Barot.
Rotary Club of Nairobi was chartered on 11th September 1930. During my tenure as president, we will celebrate the 90th charter anniversary of this august and revered club. Words may not do justice at describing how proud I am to say I am a Rotarian. It is even more difficult to explain the immense joy and pride I have at being a member of the Rotary Club of Nairobi, the mother club of Rotary in East and Central Africa, the third oldest Rotary club in the continent of Africa. It truly is an honor to serve as the 90th president of Rotary Club of Nairobi. Naturally, given the stature of our club, this honor comes with great responsibility. With the support of my board members and esteemed fellow club members, together, we will meet the challenge. Our club has been built on a very strong leadership foundation, and I am fortunate to have a membership that is wholeheartedly committed to the Rotary ideal of service above self and continues to selflessly go the extra mile in strengthening the club and carrying out the many worthwhile high-impact projects that we undertake for the benefit of our community and humanity. My Rotary journey began in the year 2015, when I was invited to the meetings by the then Treasurer Rotarian Kalpa Padia, and after 9 months of regularly attending meetings, projects, fundraisers, and other activities, I was invited into membership. Between 2015 and 2020, it seems like a short time span, but in this time, I have served in the club as Assistant Treasurer, Public Relations Director, Club Administration Director, Membership Director, 2 terms as Club Secretary, Fundraising Director for the 39th Annual Rotary Sunshine Rally, District 9212 Cancer Awareness Secretary, and my Rotary highlight is having the honor to be the Communications Director for Rotary Day at the UN 2018, an international event held for the first time in Africa, co-chaired by past President Dr. Salome Githoho and immediate past District Governor Joe Otin. I wish to thank all the past presidents and senior Rotarians who have mentored me and continue to mentor me, who have had faith in me and continue to have faith in me, as I have served on the board for the past many years and continue to do so. I congratulate my predecessor Jessica Kazina, now immediate past president, for an excellent year of Rotary service and guiding me through the year. I thank all the board members for year 2020-2021 as we endeavor to do our best and more. District Governor Patrick Obath, the members of Rotary Club of Nairobi will work wholeheartedly and tirelessly together in achieving the goals set out for Rotary Year 2020-2021. We will work with great dedication and diligence. My vision for our club in the upcoming year is fourfold: strengthened connection with the community, enhanced presence, membership, and regaining the glory once associated with this prestigious club. On this special year, as we mark 90 years since charter, we will continue harnessing the power of social media, including a revamped website, Facebook, Rotary Showcase, as well as other social media platforms as recommended by Rotary International. There will also be greater engagement and connection with our Rotaract and Interact clubs. We have already witnessed successful transition from Rotaract Club of Nairobi Central into Rotary Club of Nairobi, and this trend will gradually continue. During this Rotary year, we will once again sign a sister club agreement with the Rotary Club of Madras, District 3232, a very prominent 93-year-old Rotary Club, one of the oldest in the Asian continent. I would like to continue with the work that was started by past President Jessica Kazina and predecessors, past Presidents Muhammad Ali Rahmatullah and Salim Fazl, and other past presidents. We will work on providing ablution blocks at Jamhuri High School, water projects, and various signature projects including energy-saving GECOs, provision of bed kits to 5,000 children with the Canadian Sleeping Children Around the World Bed Kits team. Once the COVID situation and pandemic is under control, we will also continue with our signature club project, Kenya Rural Blindness Eradication, Cataract Surgeries, under the guidance of ophthalmologist and honorary Rotarian Dr. Mukesh Joshi and team. We also have several global grants and international projects underway. We will be celebrating the 90th charter anniversary of the club in September. And by the end of Rotary year 2020-2021, we will have a book published to mark 90 years of Rotary Club of Nairobi. We hope to increase our presence in the local media, and to this effect, I will share with the board the process I have started towards this. There are many disadvantaged people throughout our community whose only hope will come from Rotary. As Rotarians, it is not enough for us to give only what we have left over or what we can spare. We must truly give our time, skills, energy, and more of ourselves with energized vigor and support the ideals of Rotary. As members of Rotary Club of Nairobi, let us lead the way as Rotary shares its legacy of service above self. I have been mentored by and continue learning from the Rotary giants of our prestigious club, as well as the supportive past district governors and Rotary leaders from across the district and beyond. Dear members of Rotary Club of Nairobi, I count on you for your full support as we set to achieve all that is planned for this year and beyond. May the works of our hands be forever blessed.
Now it's my great pleasure to invite our incoming district governor, Patrick Obath, to address us.
Thank you very much, Arun, for your invitation. I want to observe the four-way test because I have to be out of this place by a certain time, and this event has also to finish by a certain time. So I will be brief, not brief exactly, but I will be trying to be succinct in what I'll say. And I just want to focus on some 4 key messages that I've been giving to clubs as I'm going around doing installations. But before I start talking, I'd like to ask all the Rotarians on this call and those sitting with me in this room, why are you still a Rotarian today? What is it that makes you a Rotarian sitting in a club, going every week and so forth? And is the reason you're a Rotarian today going to be sufficiently energizing to keep you as a Rotarian in the future? That's the question I want to ask. And I'd like to illustrate my own life journey. And you will then understand why I'm asking that question. I started doing good before I became a Rotarian. I used to do that as young employed people, going into the bush and finding vulnerable people there when we went to camp and do our sort of weekend outages. and we would look for places to help them, and we did. My friends joined Rotary before I did, because I couldn't join Rotary when I was in Kenya, because the times that Rotary were meeting at that time were times when I could not attend meetings. But I joined when I left the country, because I found a club that was meeting in the evening, and I joined there. And within a year or so, I was already doing things in Rotary beyond just doing good to vulnerable people. I started taking on responsibility in the club. And that got me more involved in Rotary. And as I grew in the club, they gave me more responsibilities. And that really kept me interested in Rotary, because I was learning and learning and learning. I then came back to Kenya and continued learning. And then I got the challenge and I became the president of a club. So each year I was doing something more challenging that kept me becoming a better Rotarian as I went through. And I then became the Rotary Youth Leadership Award chair for the district. And that kept me going for about 3 years when I came into Nairobi as a member of the Rotary Club of Muthaiga. But like every Rotarian, I became the standard Rotarian. How do I call the standard Rotarian? The standard Rotarian is a Rotarian who pays their dues on time. That's a tick. The standard Rotarian is the one who has got a 100% attendance record in the club. That is a tick. The standard Rotarian is the one who will attend projects, will also be taking people to projects, and will do one or two things within the club when asked, like, I'll be a sergeant at arms when so and so is not there, and so forth and so on. But that for me is what I call the standard Rotarian, which is a carpet. You are not pushing yourself beyond what you should be. I found that I needed to get something that is burning from my heart for me to do, for me to become what I call an inspired Rotarian. But there's nothing wrong with being a standard Rotarian. Complying, and that is it. You'll go to the meeting, you'll stay in fellowships, you'll do whatever it is that the club president asks, and that is where you stop being, because you're just complying. The reason I asked that question at the beginning is, what do you do more than just being a standard Rotarian? I was a standard Rotarian for quite some time in my own Rotary Club in Muthaiga. And some of the members who have been there for a long time will probably understand what I'm talking about. And I'm sure most of you are probably standard Rotarians right now as we talk. But then about 4 years ago, I was challenged by a couple of my members, Gita Manek and Koshik, the two of them together. And they said, Patrick, you need to elevate your game. You need to become somebody who is insightful and can do things in Rotary. And that's when I took on the journey of becoming a district governor. And why do I become a district governor? Because I want to make a change. I want to make something significant in Rotary. In my time, I challenged myself and said, are we ever going to see a Rotarian who is 40 years old, married with 3 children, and having a full-time job as a district governor in this region? I believe it's possible. And in my year as a governor, district governor, I will start the journey towards making that possible. And that is what it is that is coming from inside me, because I have done a lot in the private sector, in organizations and so forth. And that is what I want to bring into Rotary. So I come back to you and ask you as a member of Rotary, what is it for the next 12 months, and maybe the next 2 or 3 years, are you going to do that is significant and above being a standard Rotarian? If you can find it in your heart to do something significant, then your club will be much the richer for what you are going to do. If 10 of you in the club take that extra leap, then that club will take a much bigger leap as a club in the district. So please, my fellow Rotarians, search your heart and find out what is it that you're going to do beyond just being a standard Rotarian. Tell your president, offer that service to the club, and let us rise above where we are. And let me now turn to Rotary itself and our district this year. And I'll just give some 4 key messages, which are part of Holger Knack's key messages as well for the year that you're going to be in Rotary. We're going to be leading Rotary. The first one is very simple. Membership growth. In Joe Tin's years, which we're just about to finish, he set a target of 50% growth in membership. And obviously, because of what nature has done to us over the last 4 months, 5 months, he has not been able to complete that journey. But that was an achievable target. So we are going to keep the same target to grow our membership by 50% of the numbers that we have on the 1st of July when we take over office. So that is what we want to do in terms of increasing our membership. But how do we increase our membership? Two key things. One, we can charter new clubs. And there are 6 models that Rotary have put together, but they're not exclusive models. You can have a combination of both, of 2 or 3 different models into a club. And those clubs have got to be clubs that will resonate with the area and the community in which you're planting a new club. So understand the community, understand what their needs are, understand the people that you're bringing in, and craft a club which they also should contribute to saying we want this kind of club so that it works for them. But also in terms of our own clubs, how do we increase our membership? How do we retain the numbers that we have? Let me tell you about a typical Rotary meeting. Most of us go to a Rotary meeting and I can tell you that I'll shut my eyes and I know exactly what's going to happen. I didn't see it happening here today, but whenever you go to most Rotary clubs, you will also find one of these laminated sheets, which tells you how you're going to run the meeting. And quite a lot of times it is also spread around so all the members can see it. But that sheet of paper is laminated because it is one that is going to last for a very long time. But isn't it boring to have a meeting that is run the same way for the last 20 years? And I can tell you, without even thinking or looking for that sheet of paper, you will say the Rotary Grace, you'll have the loyal toast, you'll have you'll then have the 4-way test. And if you're a bit more adventurous, you'll have the objects of Rotary. Then you'll have somebody introduce the guest speaker, etc., 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 and you'll end up with talking about Rotary the world over. Isn't that boring? The same routine year in, year out. We can still have excellent meetings, meet all those little lines and requirements, but make it an interesting meeting, not follow the same structure for the last 20 years. And our President-elect Holger Knack said, yes, a lot of Rotary clubs used to have lunch. That was the way they used to work. But let's be cognizant of the fact that we've got much younger people who are not going to sit down and have 2 hours of lunch and wine and everything else. Their style of Rotary is different. And we've got to be able to blend what the new ways of working are with the old ways of working and make it work for our members. So it is important that our clubs become vibrant and relevant. And that is the only way we can retain the members that we have, but also attract new members when they come in. The second key message is around the strategic plans. And I'd like to thank, and I keep thanking my district secretary, Tito Tadeo, who has been instrumental in creating the strategic plan that we have in the district. And that has been discussed fully with the Troika, which is the district governor, myself, and the district governor nominee. And we'll continue to guide this district for the next 4 to 5 years. And every club has been taken through the process of preparing a strategic plan, which you should also be running for the next 4 to 5 years. But how do you make your strategic plan alive? The first thing, as has been done this year, is to extract your annual plan from the strategic plan. And your president-elect, who's there now, has actually done that for their next year. But during the course of that year, I would like to ask the presidents-elect who are going to be then president-elects to pick up the strategic plan and start planning during the course of our year. It isn't right to wait until the end of the year. The incoming team has to start the minute they become the incoming team with the incoming president. And you plan for the year during the course of this year. And you've got to work together with the president who is there now, who is going to be there in our year, and understand what it is they're able to deliver in that year. And if they're not able to deliver because of certain exigencies, then say, okay, fine, let us rehash it, and maybe it will go into the following year, and discuss that between the president-elect during that year and the sitting president. That will make sure that the club continues to deliver. So let's not have this thing of one president telling the other one, wait, it is not your year yet. Start as a president-elect to plan in the year that it is yours. And that has been given to all the presidents, and Ritesh here will actually tell you that that is what I've been telling them. Let the president-elect be part of planning right now, and they start acting right now. So make sure that you have 2 strategic plan meetings in the year, one after 6 months, one towards the end of the year. And that way you'll be able to discuss it. And that strategic plan meeting should be led by the president-elect, because they're going to own it for the year to come. The third imperative is around membership and the type of member that you're going to bring in. And our president-elect, Holger Knack, was very, very clear that we are not necessarily after numbers only, we are after quality. And we'd rather have quality members rather than a large number of members. But how do you make sure that those quality members stay? 2 things. The club must find a need for a particular kind of member. So you do a needs analysis and you look at the classifications that you require. So that when you attract a new member, they come in and they're into a job immediately. You don't do like we currently do. You say, fine, you've been allocated to the foundation club committee, or you've been allocated to this committee, and then that committee will go and find something for you to do. There's got to be a structured way that we are looking for somebody to do this, because it is a vocation that is missing in our club. And when they come in, they're not given to a committee, they're given to a specific task, which they start the day they join. But on the converse, we've also got to meet the aspirations of that member. We've got to understand what it is they want to take out of Rotary, what it is they want to give. And we've got to match that with the role that you're giving them in the club. When the 2 come together, then we're going to retain members. But if it doesn't, the member will come in and feel unfulfilled, and they will leave. And the typical thing that will happen is they'll come in with a lot of enthusiasm, and within 6 months, you'll see them becoming what I call the standard Rotarian. The guy who comes into the meeting and will sit at the back and do everything else that is required, but in reality, they're preparing for their exit. So let's make sure that we get the members in properly. The last key message, which also resonates with Holger Knack, is the fact that we have to give to the foundation. We've been on end polio now for quite some time, and we're in the last hurdles. But once we've got rid of polio, we've still got 5 years where we've got to monitor and make sure that we are 100% that there's no case of polio that has been seen. And it is only after those 5 years that we'll say, yes, polio has been eradicated, and we need to fund that time. But also, as a district, we have 100 grants running. Totally in the world, there's 1,100, which means one district out of 530 odd districts have got nearly 10% of the grants running in the world. Yet we are not giving 10% of the money into Rotary Foundation. So let us give so that we can receive more. We are doing very well in delivery of projects, but let us give more so that at least we're able to get more back. So we'll be looking to all of you to become 100% giving clubs. And that is very simple. If every member gave $100, which is 10,000 shillings every year, the club would be a 100% giving club. And that means you put 1,000 shillings per month into the foundation. And if every member of your club does that, and of this club, we're fine. This club, I don't think, has a problem in terms of getting foundation, getting it, but other clubs do. So those are the 4 key areas that we'd really like to highlight, although in the strategic plan, there are other things that we'll be doing. So in concluding, I'd like to say that each of us as a Rotarian are involved in a project. We're involved in an activity. And those activities could be big or small. It could be as big as the end polio campaign that Rotary has globally. Or it could be planting a few trees in a school, or providing an ablution block or running water in a school. Each of those activities touches a heart. And it touches a heart and makes that heart move on to do something better. The children who have been prevented from having polio have been given an opportunity. The school where you put water that is now available so that the children can have clean water and wash and everything else means that those children will have less chance of getting ill. And that means that they have an opportunity for doing something more than what they would have been doing. So every act that we do creates an opportunity for somebody else somewhere. But even for ourselves, every time we do that act, it means that for us, we are growing in one way or another and creating more opportunities for ourselves to serve either in the community or to get self-gratification in what we have done. And that is why this year's theme is Rotary Opens Opportunities for everybody, not for only ourselves, but for the people that we've done work for. And in the district, we are saying we have to be unlimited. In this year that Joe Tin has been president, he asked us to elevate our game. And you can see by the activities that have happened in this year that we are able to elevate our game. But now that we've elevated our game and you can deliver, let us open up our minds. Let us be creative and innovative. Let us be unlimited in what we do. Thank you very much, fellow Rotarians, and I hope you have a great new Rotary year.
So passionately said, thank you very much, District Governor incoming. I was just thinking, if we could change because of COVID-19, the way we are meeting, the way we are acting, yes, District Governor, we think we can change. Yes, for some of us, older generation, it means a little bit of hard work, but I think you have a fantastic idea, something that could make our Rotary grow in this district, along with collection of funds. Thank you. Now it's my great pleasure to invite Ritesh, President Ritesh.
Thank you very much indeed, past President Arun. Thank you, District Governor Patrick, for this wonderful talk you've given us, which we greatly appreciate. Thank you for guiding us through the last couple of months. Ever since Rotary year 2019-2020 began, you actually set up a committee and started training us well in advance. And that's going to help us as presidents. It's going to help me in carrying out all the activities for this Rotary year. The reason I would like actually to mention that is because you told us that just now that we have to now start thinking about the future. And the incoming president every 6 months has to carry out the strategic meetings. I would like now, please, to invite President Jessica, immediate past President Jessica, but dear, allow me to address you as President Jessica, as we are still outgoing, we are still not in July. On behalf of all the members of Rotary Club of Nairobi, we wish to thank you for your selfless dedication, your hard work, your sacrifices, for guiding us, for leading us with all your heart and soul, with full integrity. And I know that the journey is very long. It still continues, but dearest President Jessica, please accept this.
Oh,
Thank you.
I can shake hands.
No.
I can say thank you very much. And what's this?
The plaque for you.
It's got all the names of everybody. Thank you very much. It's a reminder of what I'm going to do about, what our club has taught us, and how we must keep on working.
Thank you, Ritesh, President Ritesh. It's going to take me a little time to come to terms to say President Ritesh, but yes, the sit merits the word president. We're not finished yet. We're going to have a small interlude. musical, after which I'm going to invite no other than our Ambassador Dr. Julia Odhiambo on the microphone. Thank you. Shall we have some music, please? Sorry, I stand to be corrected because of the time. It's my great pleasure to request Julia Odhiambo to come to the microphone. Julia, thank you.
Going on for some minutes. I thought somebody just they can't back for nothing. They can't back for nothing.
Fellow Rotarians and guests, it's my duty to undertake two assignments. One is, of course, the roll call, and the second is a vote of thanks. So as I set out to undertake my two tasks this afternoon, I'd just like to let you know my name is Josephine Odhiambo, and I say that with all reverence to our very studied Master of Ceremonies, simply because I can see two other Julia Odhiambos on the screen. One of them is my mother and the other is my daughter. So I am your incoming and now Vice President, and I'm Rotary International's representative to UNICEF. So I'll start with my first task. So District Governor-elect Patrick Obath, District Governor nominee designate Azeb Asrat, District Membership Chair Joe Kamau, Rotarian James Mwaura, District Fundraising Chair, PDG Gita Manik, PDG Jeffrey Bamford, all AGs, Assistant Governors present, all Rotary Club presidents and presidents-elect present, DRR Samuel Karanja, and all Rotaract Club presidents and presidents-elect. Rotarians joining us from the world over, like Margareta in the United States of America. Rotarians in India, in Ghana, in South Sudan. My daughter, Rotarian now in Bristol. Rotarians, Rotaractors, family members, and guests in attendance, and friends here with us at the studio in Sigiri Ridge. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt by the heart. Thank you is one such prayer among them. I consider it a great privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have witnessed this memorable and successful installation of President Ritesh Barot and his team. So firstly, a special thank you to our chief guest, DG Patrick Obath, for what has been already described as a passionate remark filled with wisdom for us, but also for the run-up to your leadership and for the support of the DG and his team. We thank you. We thank the people who have worked to make this installation a success. And first, and most remarkable, we want to thank President Jessica. President Jessica, together with Irina, Rotarian Sanjeev, and his team here in the studio, we want to say thank you because without you, we wouldn't have undertaken this ceremony today. We also must thank our Rotaractors, families, and friends who have witnessed and given us the support to come to this moment. Many of you have thanked them in your remarks. I also want to thank those behind the scene who have contributed to today's momentous program. Without you, once again, this could not have been a success. And so I want to therefore just say thank you to members of the incoming team who have worked to also bring us to this moment. I'd like to recall a quote from the great Henri Nouwen. Henri Nouwen was the Dutch Catholic theologian and psychologist. Henri said, "We've been called to be fruitful, not successful, not productive, not accomplished. Success comes from strength, from stress, and from human effort. Fruitfulness comes from vulnerability and the admission of our weaknesses and what we need to do better at." So today, I'd like to espouse the words of our chief guest, DGE Obath, and his reference to President Olga Nak's theme on opportunity. And as I end say, President Ritesh offers us the opportunity to examine ourselves constantly, to find our weaknesses, and to seek out challenges that will help us improve. We have the opportunity to expand our horizons and to seek to stretch ourselves in everything we do. As we journey with President Ritesh, the youngest and the tallest president yet, let's take on jobs worth doing, difficult jobs. Let's not just be effective and file the reports and make the bottom line, as DGE has told us not to do, but let's make a difference. Let's think big. Think of Nelson Mandela, Florence Nightingale, Mother Teresa, Golda Meir, David versus Goliath. Heroes, let's take on what may look like an impossible task, but stay fixed for the long haul. Under President Ritesh, let's be faithful to our guests, to our gifts, faithful to our gifts, as we've been told by DGE. And let's be faithful to our world. We've been called to be fruitful. I want to thank you all for having supported us as we've installed President Ritesh and his team. Thank you.
Thank you, President-elect. I stand to be corrected. I should have said Ambassador Josephine Odhiambo. I'll remember it. Won't make that mistake. Last thing that remains for me to say is a couple of notices. Firstly, our club will still have the normal meeting on 25th of June on Zoom. Past President Jessica will let us know the Zoom number and the password. The second thing I must bring to your attention is the first meeting of the newly elected president will be on 2nd July of this month, of next month. Thank you very much. And thank you very much and good day to all of you. Thank you for honoring us. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for bringing in Ritesh, like Josephine said, the tallest president in Kenya. Thank you.